We are live here out of Ballymo, Ireland, which is Father Flanagan's birthplace. First, I want to introduce you to our guests. We are live with Tom Lynch, who many of you know from our Facebook Lives out of the Boys Town Hall of History. And we're also here with Fidelma Crocan, who lives in Ballymo, Ireland, and is going to be taking us through the Father Flanagan Memorial Garden. So thank you so much for joining us. How are you both doing today?
Good, Gabby. Doing very
good.
Well. Thank you. Delighted to be joining you for the Facebook Live.
Awesome. Well, we are so grateful to have you. So if you could tell us, where are we and why Ballymo? Some of our viewers might not know the rich history behind Father Flanagan's birthplace. So, Tom, if you want to briefly just give us a rundown of why we're in this garden and how important it is, that would be great.
Father Flanagan was born not near the village of Ballymo in 1886, and he considered the village to be his hometown. And the garden is located next to St. Crone's, which was the church where he was baptized and he worshiped when he lived in Ireland. And Fidelma is going to give us a fantastic tour now of this garden, which the people in Ballymo created to honor Father Flanagan.
Great. Well, Fidelma, if we want to just start at the beginning, it would be awesome to have you kind of just walk through what the garden looks like for those who aren't able to go and visit Ballymo.
Great. Take you around the garden. So, as you've alluded to, I was born and raised in Ballymo, lived here most of my life, and presently I'm part of a small group of people in the village, and it's our mission to honour Father Flanagan in his home village and in his home country. So this garden was created in the spring and summer of 2016. So let's take a tour.
Yes.
Which the idea behind the garden is that people can come in here and do a self-guided tour. We've told the story of Father Flanagan and his life and legacy through these storyboards, so you can start here and work your way around. There are certain items planted in the garden that have significance to his life. For example, we have 11 conifers sown here to represent the 11 Flanagan children, children of John, 4 sons and 7 daughters, represented by these 11 conifers growing here.
That's awesome.
Should we keep going? Next, I'll point out to you an Austrian pine, and that is to represent the country in which Father Flanagan was ordained, in Innsbruck in Austria. That's here. Here we have our largest tree in the garden, which is a Nebraska cottonwood, and it's growing pretty tall, as you can see. Various Nebraskan visitors we've had to the garden, they have told us that it makes a lovely whistling noise when the wind blows through the branches. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it, because I think it's going to get quite tall.
Yeah, that's so cool to have our home campus represented in the garden.
Good. Yeah, good. Throughout the garden, we have a couple of places where you can sit and relax. It's a very peaceful, serene place. You can really feel the spirit of Father Flanagan here and have some time to relax and chill out. So we have a seat here, which, as you can see, says Ballymo Boys Town 2017, and that's just to mark the unique relationship that Ballymo has with Boys Town. We have a very close bond, and of course, Father Flanagan is that link between our two villages. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we have an official sister city relationship with Boys Town, which was forged in 2001, and we're very proud of that. It's great to be that close. Our village of Ballymo connected with the village of Boys Town. Also in that year, in 2001, the Boys Town alumni gifted Ballymoe with a life-size bronze statue of Father Flanagan. Now that stands a couple of 100 yards from where I am, up in the top of our village. It was unveiled in the autumn of 2000. Be there for that wonderful occasion, and a number of us from back. So I just like to point out to you here the two different sizes of these conifers. So at this part of the garden, we tell the story of how when Father Flanagan started working with the homeless, first of all, he worked with the homeless men of Omaha on the streets. And after doing that for a while, so they are represented by the taller conifers there. After a while of doing that, Father Flanagan realised that some of these men were a lost cause, and he really needed to work with the younger, as he called them, the embryo of these men. He needed to work with the boys. So hence we have the smaller conifer here representing the boys, and that's where his life's work lay after that. As we move along the garden here, you will notice some stone structures. These raised beds that are coming up. The first one here, the smaller one, we are going to shape those shrubs into a roof shape. And this first one here represents the first home that Father Flanagan opened in downtown Omaha on the 12th of December 1917. And further along then we have a larger raised bed, which represents the second home he opened, which in order to accommodate more boys. And that was also known as the German-American home.
The variety. Very nice.
That's that raised bed there. We're always very proud to fly our flags in the garden. So it's very still here today, but we on special occasions such as today, we fly the flags. We also have we usually have a Boys Town flag up there as well, which was gifted to us from Boys Town.
Awesome. Yeah, for those watching, it's usually pretty rainy and dark there, and today we were blessed with a beautiful sunny day. So it's like Father Flanagan knew that we were going to tour the garden today.
Yes, absolutely, Gabby. Yes, yeah. So the whole openness, the openness and the space of this garden, the way it's laid out, that goes on then to represent Overlook Farm, which Father Flanagan went on to purchase, and which became what is known as Boys Town today, of course. And in keeping with that whole thing, we have around the border of the garden, we have a good, strong, sturdy hedge, which gives stability and structure to the garden, just as Boys Town gave stability and structure to so many children that went through it. We have a wide variety of plants sown in the garden, quite a diverse range of colours and species, and that is to represent the fact that Father Flanagan took in a wide variety of boys when he first started off. He accepted boys of various ethnicities, backgrounds, religions, races. So we wanted to capture the essence of that here as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Any questions, Gabby, so far? Will I keep going?
Yeah, go ahead and keep going. I'd love to see. We have some of that brickwork I think we were going to show next.
Yeah, the brickwork. Yeah, that's they're the raised two beds. These structures here. Representing the first homes that Father Flanagan had.
Yeah. It's awesome to see how much symbolism this garden represents and how much of Boys Town story kind of translates here, even though it's across the world.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that was our idea. We wanted to. On this storyboard, we mentioned the so we've got a picture here of Father Flanagan going over the lines with Spencer Tracy during filming at Boys Town in 1938. So that's just another part of Boys Town's history. When a number of us visited Boys Town, of course, we were delighted to see the Oscar in the Hall of History that Spencer Tracy, which he won for Best Actor, and then he presented it to Father Flanagan. It was just great to see that in the case.
Yeah.
And as we come round the path towards the end of the garden, we have a weeping willow here, and this represents the death of Father Flanagan in Germany in 1948.
The people of Ballymo, Fidelma and her husband Alan, and the community there as a group created this garden. They raised the money for it and designed it all on their own. And it's an achievement for that community to have done this. And it's something very special to reflect the memory of Father Flanagan, which he would love, because again, he loved nature and he loved being outside. And so he would appreciate this because everyone can enjoy it, the children and retired people in the village. Father Flanagan was a revolutionary. He believed children were individuals and should be treated with love and respect. And he also believed that everyone had the right to live a free life, regardless of their race, their religion, ethnicity, all concepts that were radical for their time. And he's an individual that we can still look to today as a role model in working with people, especially children. And the people of Ballymo are fantastic for what they do to preserve Father Flanagan's memory, because without them, we would not be able to have this beautiful garden and these projects that take place in Ireland, recognizing Father Flanagan. So from Boys Town to Ballymo, we say thank you very much for doing this to preserve the memory of Father